Good afternoon. I'm Doc D.
I'm Michelle.
And we are the Mangums.
We want to welcome you to Straight Talk about the blended family.
We appreciate you tuning in to us today, and we pray that we will give you a fresh perspective on how to allow your blended family to mesh and to blend well. Good afternoon, and welcome to another segment of Straight Talk about the blended family. I'm Doc D.
I'm Michelle.
And we are the Mangums. You know how we do it here on our broadcast. We just want to have a word of prayer. We have a phenomenal show today. We have incredible guests, a husband and wife blended family couple that's going to blow your mind. But let's pray. Father, we thank you for this awesome day. We thank you for this awesome radio show, WBGR, and all its affiliates. We thank you, Lord, for Lionel Green and all the staffers, God. We ask you today to just have full control over today's segment, God. It's going to be so funny, so amazing. We're going to have such a great time. So, God, we love you. We appreciate you. We thank you for this. In the name of your son, Jesus. Amen.
Amen. So now we want to thank all our supporters. We want to thank the Lord first for just blessing us with this platform and using us for his glory. We want to thank Lionel Green and WBGR staff here. We want to, at the radio station, we want to thank the prayer warriors and sponsors and supporters. We're grateful for all those who are praying for us, who watch the show, who share the show, who don't watch parties. You know, we know that somebody is being blessed. Somebody's blended family is being blessed.
It's being blessed
because of it. So if you have any questions today and you want to call the show, feel free to call 301-429-9247. 301-429-9247. If that line is busy, you can call 301-306-7284. 301-306-7284. Also, we're having our church is having a revision service on January the 18th.
Yes.
So I'm holding up the flyer. It's join us for our revision, Family Worship Center, a place where families can imagine, January 18th at 11 a.m. Now, that's a Saturday at 11 a.m. Our guest speaker will be none other than the Reverend Dr. Antoine Hutchins, which we had him on our show before, and
he's a senior pastor of Christian Unity Baptist Church.
Come on out and hang with us, you know. Come on out and hang with us, and let's praise the Lord, okay? All right, so now for the bio of Nysia. Our guests are Nysia and Monte Carter. Wilhite Carter. Nysia Wilhite, Monte Carter. They're a married couple, and we're excited to have them on the show today.
It's gonna be a blast. we had them in the green room. They are hilarious. They're gonna bless you today because they got a tremendous story.
And they're gonna help your blended family out
tremendously. Okay? We believe that.
So, at an early age, Nysia didn't work for anyone else. So, her family owned senior assisted living homes, and so that's where they all work together. Anyway, she started dancing. She's a dance major, and she also teaches dance. So they have collectively 9 children together.
The blended family. Now, you talking about blended family? The Carter blended family. We're gonna call them that. The Carter blended famody.
She started in network marketing. Danced professionally from the ages of 16 to 22. Started bird dogging at 23. She started a dance solutions in 2009. That's her dance studio, Dance Solutions. So if you're looking for a dance studio to go to, Dance Solutions is definitely relevant. You can definitely support her and go and check out her dance studio. She's full of fire. You'll see that when she come on the show. She's full of fire, and so to have her on your show, I'm telling you, to go to her dance studio, you would love it. Okay, you'll be able to tell when you see them. Anyway, they got married in 2010. At the time, she had 2 children, and they had 2 together. She had 2. She gained 4 bonus children from Monte, and then they had, she had 3, He had 4, and then they have 2 together. So that's where their 9 comes from.
Baseball team.
Yeah.
They got a baseball starting team. 9.
Then she got her financial license in 2013. She took over the family business in 2015. She opened her first brick and mortar for Dance Solution in 2016. She opened a second location 18 months later. So she has 2 locations of the dance studio, Dance Solutions.
Awesome.
So she may have one in your area. Check it out. And started Get It, Got It Good with WBGR. So she has a show on WBGR called Get It, Got It Good. Okay?
Tremendous.
So, and
comes on Wednesdays, right?
Yes. It comes on Wednesdays. But we'll get into that when she comes. You know,
Okay.
she when
You're right.
so Monte is a college sports coach and a fitness coach. And he has a business, and his business name is One Man Sharpens Another. One man sharpens another.
Almost like iron sharpens irons, according to Proverbs.
And that's where he got it from.
Yeah.
That's where he got it from.
That's from the book of Proverbs.
So,
Awesome.
So, when we're going to cut to a short commercial break, and when we come back, Monte and Nysia will be in the hot seats. So, stay tuned. We'll be right back after this short commercial break.
Welcome back to Straight Talk About the Blended Family.
Welcome back, everybody.
Hello. Listen, we told you that we have an incredible, phenomenal blended family couple with us. Nysia and Monte. And I'm telling you today, I'm already excited. We're going to have so much fun. This couple is so hilarious. But I want y'all to say hello to our audience. Just wave at our audience.
Hi, guys.
How are you? Listen, we are grateful.
Welcome to the show.
Yes,
Thank you for coming on.
Because we know both of you are extremely busy, you know, but we're excited today because you guys are going to let loose. Okay? All right.
I don't know if y'all ready for that.
All right. So, first, y'all have 9 children blended in your blended family. So
Yes.
tell us how you met and your blended family and how your blended family was formed.
Well,
We actually met at Howard High School, 1994.
Okay.
I was actually lifting weights in the weight room, and she was in there working out, and she couldn't lift the weight that she had on the bar, and she asked me to help her out.
Okay.
So from then on, we became friends and ended up becoming lovers. Now we're married.
Wow.
All right.
So what was your version? I know I got to get your version.
no, it was the same. I could lift my weight though. The problem is,
That's why I needed to get your version because I knew something was coming.
the problem was
Yes,
that the
better.
girls could not spot me because I was lifting so much more than what they could handle. So I needed a spot that can actually save me if I got weak.
Absolutely.
Okay.
So
Absolutely.
same thing, except
Yeah. I get
I
that.
was
That's
strong.
smart. That's smart. That's smart. That's smart.
See, Monte is a sports trainer,
Strong-
so he was
look,
just, he was
strong-
just being the gentleman.
Look, strong and strategic.
I like that. Go ahead, girl.
Right,
Give me a high
right.
five on that. Strong and strategic. Listen, ain't no harm in that. It worked out.
Yes, it did.
The
Yes,
beauty
did.
of it. Okay,
Yes,
the
it
next
did.
question. How long did it take you guys to blend with your bonus children? What was the process? Or is it still an ongoing process? Let me ask that question.
it's
Two
still
questions.
ongoing.
It's
Okay,
still on.
but how long did it, when y'all started seeing some connection, some harmony? And again, we know that blended families take time.
Yeah, it takes work. Takes time.
Monty, let me ask you that question
I'll
first.
say at least 2 years, maybe.
Okay.
It took for Makai to actually gravitate towards dealing with the other the other four boys in the house.
Okay.
It took him a little while to get used to him because he was so used to being the oldest child.
Okay.
And now you move into a home with somebody else being the oldest and you being the youngest, and you're not used to somebody else saying, hey, well, you got to help do this or you got to help do that. He's so used to telling everybody else what to do.
Right. So y'all had that thing going on.
That birth order.
Yeah.
Birth order was a major.
Yes.
Thank you,
That's
Dave,
in
because that's
his
the
book.
word.
That's in his
I was
book.
talking about the birth order, and sometimes that happens when you integrate into a blended family, and you're normally the oldest child, and when you come into your new family, you're no longer the oldest. So your responsibilities and your perspective shifts because now
Yes.
I'm not getting the keys to the car first.
Yep.
Yeah.
So we had to maneuver through that. Okay, all right.
Yeah. Well, definitely, in the kids, we have mainly boys.
Okay.
So there's this type of who's going to be the leader of the pack type of mentality.
Oh yeah, the alpha male.
Yeah, the alpha male.
Okay.
And with 6 boys and different all our kids got different personalities.
Of course.
Drastically different.
Okay, they should.
So yeah, right. So it's just definitely who's going to lead, and they're all leaders. So it's always a struggle about who's right, who's wrong, who's going to do this, and so they're still working on it. But because they're older now, it plays out differently.
Yeah, and I
So
think.
do y'all intervene? Do y'all get in on the?
I do.
Yeah.
I don't.
Okay.
I have to because sometimes it gets physical.
Okay.
And I don't want it to get physical with
Right.
them, so I have to intervene and
Absolutely.
explain to them, look, we can either have it this way or this way. And physical is not always the best way. So.
Right.
And
that's
I'm
right.
terrible because I'm so good with so many kids and so many things going on and the animals and everything else. You could be in my face and I can ignore you, not see you, not hear you. And so I can tune it out for the most part. And then when I start hearing it, I'm terrible because I know they'll listen to him. I'll sit and wait and just like, okay, when is he going to intervene? So usually I let him be the disciplinarian because I'm a big old softy.
Oh, you're not cream puff, are you?
Yes, she is.
It's okay though.
Yes.
I'm not upset with you because you're a cream puff.
She's a cream puff.
I'm
Percentage of mothers are. But what I like about what you said is that you okay with deferring the disciplinary conversations and whatever has to take place from the discipline perspective. You're okay sometimes.
I'll defer, and then
sometimes.
I'll intervene with him about, wait, why did you punish him for a month? Isn't that harsh?
See, do y'all do that in front of them?
Yes.
Okay,
Yeah,
hold up.
horrible.
Okay.
I knew.
Never
Yes.
do that in front of them.
Yeah,
Never.
because what you do, you start taking away the leverage of the parental unity when you do that, and you don't do that for several reasons, and you have to learn to see. Let me tell you something. A lot of people don't know how to adjust and maneuver in a blended family.
That's true.
They just do what's naturally comes to them, and a mom is naturally a rescuer.
Yep.
A mom is going to rescue, but here's the reality of it. And we know you guys are going to be phenomenal as you continue to grow and learn different spots and different things of how to handle this. But I think it's great that Monty doesn't have a problem with taking on that role. One of the things I want to say, you'll probably do, is that discipline with love is the key. And I talk about it in my book, because we as men sometimes, military men, we can have, from time, I'm not saying this is you, I'm saying where I've been at one time or another, we can become a drill sergeant in how we approach the situation. And sometimes that mentality will work. It depends on the level of what's going on. But a lot of times it doesn't work because you don't want boys to think that, man, dad is so hard on me and he's not showing me love. Basically what I'm talking about is balance from a male's perspective. But I think it's great because you, like you said, you are raising kings. And the gentlemen in your home have to get it from the top king. And see, the thing about Monty is that he's not sharing his throne with them.
At all.
At all.
Right.
And I don't blame him.
I don't blame him either. He's not supposed to.
So
He definitely keep that pedestal.
so I think that as you guys are growing in this blended family thing. A lot of people need to know how you guys are willing. Our audience need to know how you guys are willing to make certain compromises away from your family to talk about things. Because one of the things I think is really important, I got to throw this out, communication is one of the key ingredients to a successful blended family.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
And communications outside of the kids is even more critical.
Okay, you get ready to go into number 3.
I did. I didn't see it. Did I already went in number 3?
3.
Okay, you go ahead and do that then, baby.
No, you read number 3.
Oh, read number 3. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Thank you, so kind. Do you guys parent on a united front? First question. It's 2 parts. And did the children ever try to play you against each other? Let's deal with the first part first, because I can. Both of you guys are like they ready. So, first of all, do you understand some of the principles of parenting on a united front? Because some parents don't know.
Yeah.
Okay, and you understand the benefits or the disadvantages, because if you don't parent on a united front, there's a lot of disadvantages. Mm-hmm. But if you do, there's a lot of benefits.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, definitely.
So, Monte, let me ask you first. Parenting on united front, how did that look to you? Tell me, paint that brush. Use the brush and paint that picture verbally for us. Use the brush and paint that.
Well, it could be difficult, but at the same time, it's a big benefit, because I have to actually wait for her to get home.
Okay.
Like when it comes to schoolwork, when it comes to very important things with the kids, I want to make sure she's there and we both get it all together, so that the kids are on the same page, we're on the same page, especially like our son's trying to go to college. We want to make sure that he's going to the right college that's for him. Mm-hmm. Make sure he has his grades and everything together. We do all of this stuff together to make sure we're united, to make sure he's going to be prepared for the future. Mm-hmm. Awesome. You know, so, and the other one, he's doing music. Elijah's doing music, so we got to make sure that he's traveling from Akron, Ohio to Maryland like every other week, doing shows. So we have to make sure we stay together on that. She contacts him, I contact him, make sure he gets there. He has a sister that lives in Cleveland, Keeley, so we try to make sure that they meet up some kind of way and get together. So we all try to stay united when it comes to the most important stuff with them. Okay. So.
Man, that is one of the most sound answers.
Yeah, definitely. So Carter will wait till I get home, and he's great at putting stuff in front of me. Even sometimes when I feel overwhelmed, he'll say like, "Oh, babe, this kid has this kid has that. These grades aren't well, or this kid is not doing homework." So he does keep the things that are the most important in front of me. And he'll let me know at nighttime and stuff. Look, this is happening, this is what I feel. And the kids will come to him and well, because they're men or they're young boys, they'll come to him and talk about the girls and the stuff. And I'm just completely kept out of that.
Well, that's good. That's a good thing.
Like, we don't want to tell Mom, because Mom's a little bit crazy.
Mom going some probing questions.
She already had to talk with all of them, even the 13-year-old, condom and a cucumber thing that they do, and I'm like, that's not yet. And she did this like 2 years ago with all 4 of the boys in the house.
Condom and a cucumber.
Not
you know
yet.
What it is?
Not yet.
Why not? I know exactly. I'm a boy. A young man.
So if you don't know, it's the best way to explain.
So she did that, and I'm like, not yet. And she was like, they have to learn right now. And I'm like, I don't think it's time. And all 4 boys were disgusted by it. They're like, this is not right. We shouldn't be doing this right now. And I'm like, well, she wanted to do it, and I think y'all should learn, but I don't feel comfortable with it. But
how old were they?
The youngest boy was 10. So it's 3 years ago, and
then
the oldest boy was 18. So.
And I appreciate your approach on that.
You needed to have that conversation.
But let me say this: if you look at the statistics in schools and what the kids are learning, from sex education to alternative lifestyle education is being pushed in their face. Yeah. See, the challenge. This is just.
But even with their classmates and their friends.
Yeah.
Yeah,
True.
They're exposed to a lot
At
of
10
stuff.
years old.
You're guarding your kids from seeing
At 10
certain
years
things, but
old-
there are some households where
At
kids
10 years old, kids
are
already
privy
know.
to everything.
They know
Yeah.
everything.
They
And
know the
especially
whole.
with older siblings.
Yeah,
who's
older
trickling
siblings let
down.
them know. And so,
But if they get it from you, if they get it from the adults,
or they get it
they
from a
get it-
safe place.
they
And
get
I think
it-
being
they
with
get
you
it
guys
the
are a
right
safe
way.
place.
So when they see it the wrong way, it clicks. You know what I mean? Like, okay, no, mom and dad,
Monty
mom
wants
and
to say
dad
something.
talked about
It's
that.
good if you're getting it and it's just all 4 boys by themselves, you know, with them 4 and just doing it. But she's embarrassing them. It's a little girl there. We're going to do this right here, right now with the little girl here. We got to, and I'm like, no.
Well, the talk is different with the girls, so
Well, here's
can't
the
do
thing.
that.
yeah.
These
Did you think
teenage
about it?
girls.
No, she didn't think.
No. Okay. So look.
Strategist, because you're a strategist.
Wait. 'Cause
Okay.
I'll tell you a real thing. My son had a graduation party.
Okay.
Lived it up at my mother's house with all these girls and all these couples, and you know he was there with his friend chaperoning, and so was my 20-something-year-old child.
22-year-old.
Was he 22? Anyway, he was there. And these little kids were sitting on each other's
17,
lap and
18
da 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 da. So I came in the room and I was like, "Look, y'all, I don't want to see no boobs. I don't want to see no pickles. I don't want to see anything. I'm gonna come back with a cucumber and a condom, and we gonna have this talk." I'll do stuff like that. It embarrasses the crap out of them. But guess what?
It says something. Now, it may embarrass them, but here's the thing, and I get it, because I grew up in a house with, my mom had 6 sons, and we had 1 sister. And my mom took a total different route than you took. She was old school. She came straight down the pike, and we were like this. But I think because y'all have gotten through that space, I think that the valuable information that you gave, even though it was embarrassing, it also gave them a chance to see it from a perspective that when they, even now, they probably like, you know, I'm probably, and they may not tell you that, but they probably say, you know what, I was embarrassed, but I'm glad mom told me, because my friend, who's 15, 16 years old, got a girl pregnant, and he can't take care of the child, and XYZ. Now the mom had to get another job. I'm speaking hypothetically, that it may happen. And so if we don't educate, and that's called homegrown education, what you did. And if we don't educate, because what we do as parents, blended family or not, we put too much onus, if you will, on outside sources.
Yeah.
To help our kids to be exceptional. And see, you can't just be exceptional academically.
No.
You can't just be exceptional sports, but you got to be exceptional psychologically, behaviorally, and you got to be well-rounded, because when you get outside mom and dad's house, it's a whole different beast out there, especially in the 21st century. It's a whole different beast.
Her dad told us this the other day. He said you got lucky because Monty's actually street smart and he's school smart. So you got the best of both worlds. But and so Monty
that's a blessing.
So that's a blessing in
because
more
some
ways
people
than
that's
one.
real book smart, they don't have an ounce of common sense.
I know a lot of them.
and see, and the thing about it, it's okay to be book smart, but it's even more advantage to have some street smarts with you, because if you don't, you're unbalanced, and your kids become unbalanced, which makes them easy targets, in my opinion.
I try
Next
to teach
question.
them some of the street smarts, but
See, you see that
part
look?
2.
You see that look?
I saw the look. The mama, the creek. Oh, I'm sorry. God bless her. Nysia is fine.
Part 2.
Part 2.
Do they play us?
Yes.
Yeah, how do they play y'all? Who do they play first, though? Let's talk about it.
I knew he was gonna do that.
Pointed to her.
They play me. I'm a sucker. I am.
But how?
Cream puff. We like to say cream
No,
puff.
Yes.
no, we don't use the word sucker.
I'm a cream puff.
Okay.
I'm a softie.
Okay, but see, here's the thing, though. You have to develop some type of that awareness. I use something called shock and awe. I saw this in the movie with Will Smith and the guy in Hitch, and he was trying to get the guy to go, deal with the situation on his job.
See, I
with
need
the
to watch
young
more
lady.
movies.
And he said, shock and awe. And you as a mom, you got to shock and awe your boys sometimes.
Well, they do get shocked and awed. Only reason I say this is because I'm soft. I if they get punished, I don't like to do month-long punishments. I'll do like a week or two.
Why?
Just be. I didn't.
What are you?
Are they learning from that though? Because if it's been happening all these years and they're just getting a week and they're not learning from that, maybe they need a month.
Well, and then here's the thing.
Okay.
Sometimes he'll ask them to do something and they won't, and I'll be like, come on, Jay. You know Monty's gonna have an issue with this. Just go upstairs and do it for me now, please. Be like, all right, Ma, and he'll go and do it. So it's just different approaches and how they feel. And yes, they still screw up, but some things I'm like, it's not a big deal. Like some of the little stuff that he'll get mad about, he is that drill sergeant.
If you don't do homework for a whole week,
I'm not talking about homework.
It's
I
a
agree
week
with that.
worth of punishment. You should be punished for a week. No video game for a whole week. That's my punishment.
Yeah.
Okay.
But I'll leave and I'll go to work. When I come back home,
Video
they're
games
playing
being
a video
watched.
game. Oh wait a minute. Why are they playing a video game?
Do you
I didn't know they were punished.
Well, he'll take it,
Do
and
you
if he
unplug
takes it, I don't give it back.
Well,
If
how
he
do they
don't-
get it?
Well, if he doesn't take it,
I just
then
leave it in the room. Don't
he'll
touch
leave it
it.
in the room and say, "Don't touch it,"
touch
and they'll touch it. And sometimes I'll see it, and sometimes I won't. And the other times,
On
if he
purpose,
actually
she won't.
takes it, and I won't give it back. If he takes it, I'm like, "Look, you got to deal with Monty. You got to go out with Monty." But sometimes they do get shocked and awe because there are certain things that I won't tolerate.
Okay.
And they know, like some of the sons have tried me, and I had to, beat them like a man.
No, seriously.
Yeah, so
Shock and awe.
All kids do that. Listen.
That's a part of the DNA.
15 to 18. They
You
all
can't trust
do
kids.
It. They all do
Well,
it 15
yeah,
to 18.
They are
so,
scrupulous.
Yeah.
Well, they won't try. The ones who have tried me won't dare to do
Okay.
it again. So they'll know me at a certain level. I don't tolerate spitting in somebody's face, like just blatant disrespect like that. I don't like they'll box. I'll like go ahead, box it out, your boys. But then I'll get mad if one slams a head into a door.
Putting rules on fighting, which means in the real world, when you get out there and you get your head slammed into the door, you got to worry about your mom. Come save me.
No.
It's not going to happen.
It's not
Yeah,
gonna happen.
and I think, listen, here's what I think. Boys
not
are
gonna
different than young ladies. And they have a different perspective. They have a different persona of how to handle
Well,
things.
if they get physical, maybe y'all should put the protective gear on them.
Oh, we buy them gloves. They've had gloves.
I'm saying the gloves, the headgear, the whole night. Y'all
What
might
are the
as well-
takeaways, though? Let me ask you this question because, excuse me, babe.
Yeah.
What are the takeaways? Because I often share with people that if you do discipline, or if you allow certain things to go on to try to teach, you got to look for the takeaways because it makes no sense to have this particular strategy and there's no real takeaways from it where there's a learned environment.
So, in case of the fighting,
Okay.
the tiniest boy, the youngest boy, not the tiniest, the youngest boy will try to take on one of the older grown boys. And the takeaway is, look, you can't keep picking on them. They're going to knock you out. So let them knock you out so you can back down some and go back to your place.
Okay. So as long as, and
I see that.
I see that too. But I also think too, is
But that's
that
going to toughen them up.
I think
I know,
too,
he's tough already.
And that's the
He's-
thing.
he got too much heart. He got a lot of
He's 13
heart.
years old. He's 140 pounds.
He's
and
as tall as
and
me.
he's 5'9".
Right.
Well,
The
yeah, he's taller
oldest is
than me.
18 years old,
In the house.
140 pounds, and he's 5'9". So you got 22-year-olds and this 13-year-old, the same height, same size.
So the 13-year-old probably think,
You
dude,
ain't
you ain't got nothing over me.
Right.
Just age.
Yep.
And I'm coming.
That's what it is.
And that's what it is.
And
That's
so
exactly what it is.
and
No remorse for it.
and I think here's
And
the
we'll keep coming.
Listen.
We'll keep coming. He got hit my heart.
listen, here's the thing I think that's and y'all may already do this, but when they do that, have them to sit down and find out what they learned. Find out what they learned after things have calmed down. What did the 13-year-old learn from the 18-year-old? And what did the 18-year-old learn from the 13-year-old? Because what I'm hearing is that there's some things that are being taught that's not being asked. The question. Because you can learn from your older brother and you can learn from your younger brother if you choose to learn. And here's the reality of it. The bottom line, we're going to move forward, is that one of the things I think is important is that we teach and walk in our kids to teach them humility. Because a lot of times people have this assessment or evaluation of humility as being weakness. Far from it. Humility is never weakness. Matter of fact, the most humble person is the most strongest person mentally, emotionally, and even physically.
That's right.
They just choose they make wise decisions of what they. When you humble, you make wiser decisions, and most of the time, when you humble, you're not gonna get excited about stuff that's really not that deep.
Yeah,
that's right.
Yeah.
You know, because there's another way to handle it. And when I grew up, you know, people had this assessment of me because I was tall and skinny, and I was still soft spoken. You know, and they thought, man, he's a pushover. We can bully him. You know, real quick, this guy, I never get to 5th grade. My mom was a single parent. This guy talking about, I'm taking your lunch money.
No.
Yeah.
And he said, well, I know you're going to give it to me because you don't never be in nobody's face. The outcome wasn't good for him.
Yeah.
Because he went back and told me, he said, I didn't know that you could go like that. My point I'm making is that there's a learned environment, and make sure that humility should be a part. Because one thing I noticed about your husband, he's a humble guy.
Yeah. Soft
And
spoken.
soft spoken, but he's humble. What I'm saying to you is that there's a humble dexterity inside of him that I see. But I also know that he's a strong guy. He's a bright guy. And so many times people misassume or unassume because you're unassuming, or they misinterpret you rather.
That's true.
And so that's what
All the
probably the 13-year-old, the 18-year-old is probably thinking about his little brother. Dude. But the 13-year-old said, listen, dude, I'm 140 pounds. I'm 5'9". The only thing separating us is age, and I'm coming.
Well, the 13-year-old was probably saying, I think I can take him this time.
Yep.
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 Oh, yeah. He said, I'm going to keep track. I'm breaking him down.
I'm going.
You know, I'm getting
breaking him
stronger.
down.
I'm getting stronger, so I can take him this time. You know?
I was doing my push-ups.
Yeah, that's how they do. That's how they do. You know.
Push-ups and lifting weights.
Yeah, I'm lifting weights. I'm gonna be,
Yeah.
and his whole mentality, because he's the youngest, is I'm gonna get bigger and stronger than all you guys. I'm gonna be taller than everybody. He is gonna be the biggest.
Well, you know, and that's good, though, because now what he's just set, though, is goals.
Yeah.
Silent goals.
He asked me the other day.
Yeah.
I'm
Go
sorry to
ahead.
cut
No,
you
go
off.
ahead.
No, go ahead.
He asked me the other day, he said, Monty, by the time I'm 17, if I go out and buy myself a Lamborghini, would you be mad at me? I said, yes. I said, because first of all, if you go out and buy a Lamborghini before you buy a house and start yourself a business, there's no
Exactly.
point in you going to buy a Lamborghini.
Exactly. That's
Exactly.
right. That's
So
right.
That's
I would
wisdom.
be very
Exactly what he
disappointed.
said.
Yeah.
He
No,
was like,
no, that's wisdom.
okay. He said, well, so I got to buy the house and get the business first. I said, no. You get the business first, then you get the house.
Yeah.
That's right.
Then you go buy yourself a Lamborghini years later.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Don't go buy it when you're 17 years old.
That's right.
Because first
You
of
don't
all,
need it.
let me
That's right.
not
That's
only
horrible.
not only that, like you
Not only
said,
that, the police will be pulling him
Yes.
over
Consistently.
Every day.
you know, especially because he looked like us.
Yep.
Next question, babe.
Okay. So how do you handle disagreements with your bonus kids?
I try to be more patient with the bonus kids because I know I'm coming from a I'm not your mother type of perspective. And so I'll sit and talk and I'm like, look, like my oldest
But you
child.
are their mother. You're just not their
Their biological mother.
You're the
Yes.
bonus mom. So
Yes.
go ahead.
So like with the oldest of all 9, I was like, look, you don't have to like me, right? I don't care how you feel about me. Just know no matter what you do, I am here for you, right? Because at the end of the day, I married your father, right? So that's in that aspect, regardless of how you feel about me, you will respect me, right? And so I've never had real issues with the bonus kids as far as disrespect or anything else. They come at me, first of all, they wouldn't come out me out of place because of this one.
Yeah, they already know that
They
they ain't
know.
even put up with it.
Yeah, he wouldn't put up with
Their
it.
dad ain't putting it up with it.
But we
Not
just
at all.
have adult conversations
Yeah.
with them.
And how, may I ask you,
So how do you-
how old, no, hold up, babe.
Oh, go ahead.
How old are your bonus? How old in age-wise?
26, 23, 20, 16,
Okay,
right? Yeah.
okay. So you have 3 young adults and 1 teenager. So, and I know this. I'm speaking like I know, but I really don't know. But I know because of probably
That's from the, bonus.
platform. No,
That's the
I
bonus.
know,
Yeah,
I
they
know.
have 9 altogether.
I'm good, babe. I'm good. Those are Monty's sons. My point I'm
And
making,
daughters.
It's 2
And daughters.
2 boys, 2 girls.
and so my point I'm making, because Monty has set a precedence of honor and respect, they already know. that we're not going to cross that line. And number two, we got to come correct on other aspects of our conversation with our bonus mom.
Yes.
Because then we're going to have to deal with dad. And we really don't want to have to deal with dad on a level where it's not respectful.
Okay, so in that aspect, did you set that same platform with your kids for him?
No. No, and I'll be honest with you.
Okay.
My kids are on the younger half. So when he came into they were like 2, 3. And so I never really had that conversation with the younger half because they just never knew anything but him. So they grew up with him. Whereas our house is a little bit strange because my oldest son is his son.
Okay.
So I had our first together at 18. But he didn't grow up with him until the age of 10.
Okay.
So when he came back into the picture, it was more like he was his stepfather instead of his biological father. There was a big clash with that.
Okay, yeah.
Especially because the man who helped raise him the first 10 years is the father of my 3.
Okay.
And so when that family came back together, my ex used to tell the oldest, that's not your father, don't respect him, don't listen to anything he says.
Okay.
And that took years.
Yeah.
And right now, that child still, with both men are like, I'm going this way, forget both of y'all.
Right.
And so it's a bridge that needs to be built. And so I just because now he's grown, I just let them kind of communicate on their level and try to stay away from that. But he'll come to me and say, this child, but that's his child.
But yeah.
So I didn't really establish that early on because my kids were so young.
Yeah. Well, let me say this. Let me make this point. And we always say this, my wife and I. We live by this creed that adults should never involve children in adult stuff.
I agree.
That's true.
And when you do that you do a disservice psychologically, emotionally, and even mentally to your child. For that person to say things about Monte and he didn't know Monte shows me, and I'll talk to him to his face, that you were afraid of losing the respectability of your son. You're not losing anything. I believe this.
Love
that
is
the
free.
bonus parent,
That's right.
And it's okay for him to love both of y'all. You know what I mean? Not, you know, he shouldn't have been trying to play. He shouldn't have been trying to play, you against him.
The bonus parents, I believe the bonus parents can maturely, I use the word maturely very seriously, should be able to, biological and bonus parents should be able to pour into their bonus son and their biological son so that they can make sure that the child is elevated and got the best of both worlds.
Indeed.
Because when you go in as a bonus dad or a biological dad and start subtracting because you are afraid, you end up penalizing the child.
Yep.
And so there what you have now, because this person wasn't mature enough, and I tell people all the time, you have to be mature or get to the place of get counseling to mature to go into a blended family, because you have these dynamics. You have fear. You have people thinking things that's really not there. See, we assume things are not there, and you think that maybe Monte was a threat. Monte wasn't a threat. I haven't been around Monte but a couple of minutes. And I can tell you this because I have discernment of people, that he's a stand-up guy. He has things that he wants to accomplish and help the kids to accomplish, the young adults rather. And because we don't realize that there were some certain blockages, emotionally and mentally, that was, see, when you plant seeds that are not healthy, that's what you get. And so that's what your son is dealing with now, because unfortunately the individual did not plant seeds of productivity and healthy seeds. He's better because he understands a little better.
Being around Elijah.
Oh, Elijah's
actually better now because being around me, he learned what he was saying is a bunch of crap. I can watch this myself. I see it myself. Now I understand it. He's tough, but he loves me.
Yeah, see, that's the key. And I tell parents, all parents, and my wife can jump in, I always tell parents, and sometimes they get upset with me, which I'm not really concerned about that, because I see the bigger picture.
Yeah, definitely.
I'm a bigger picture guy.
Yep.
And the bigger picture is, if you're planting these unhealthy seeds in your child or children, then sooner or later, what's going to happen, those kids going to find out that everything that you said to them that was based on your own selfish desires was wrong and inaccurate, and then they're going to dislike you for spewing out that poison.
It has happened already.
What, babe?
That's what happened.
Yeah.
That's what happened. We try to tell people. Okay, so do you guys ever play favorites?
Come on now, Nigel, because that face.
Cream
No, we asking Nigel. Let's ask Nigel first, because her face told me everything. Bless her heart.
No. So
She said no. Okay.
Okay, so I get mad when Monty say, "Oh, that's your favorite." I'm like, why would you tell one kid over another kid that that's my favorite? I don't have favorites. But I do believe Monty he treats the girls differently than the guys. And whatever. I don't mean like that.
On the guys and you are on the girls.
Absolutely.
No, you can't have double standards though. Like both of the kids would stay out at the same house nonetheless, because there is a brother and sister at the neighbor's house the same age as my kids. So they'll stay at this house, and the boy will get punished because he didn't call in by 10 o'clock in the morning to check in. And the girl, you don't see her all day. Don't call, don't do nothing. And I'm like, why is he punished and she's not?
Because he's the oldest.
Oh, jeez me.
If he's the oldest and I'm telling him to call, you call for both of y'all. You don't just call for yourself. You call to make sure we are okay. Everything is fine. She's still asleep. I'm up. I called. I'm just checking in to let you know that everything's okay. That's why he gets punished. Because he's older.
Okay.
Well, now, if he gave him instructions and he didn't follow those instructions, well...
See, those was instructions that he gave the son.
Well, he didn't give me those instructions. He didn't tell me those instructions. He just said, call. Not for both. This was after he kept getting punished on a consistent basis all summer long. I'm like, why is
so
there
he
a
did,
difference?
but did the son have a conversation with you that dad gave him instructions?
The son has conversations with me that he's punished because he didn't call in. He didn't tell me the instructions that he gave. See? He never tells me the details.
Okay, so here's what you have to do. Recommendation. Can you give me the full story? What did Monty tell you? What did Dad tell you? Because he's been doing that to you because he know you don't ask for the details.
That's the playing against each other.
Yes, exactly. And so you have to be more definitive in your details. No, you need to tell me exactly what Dad said, because you're not punished because Dad is wrongfully treating you. See, kids got a backstory that they're not telling you.
Start adding in your conversation. Start adding in, what were your instructions?
What were you? Did you follow through on your instructions?
So you gonna help him when he said, well, he said X, Y, Z. Oh, did you do that?
Okay, because you ready to fight for him. You ready to go fight?
That's why you got punished.
The question was, do you have favorites? Right?
Yes,
it's the favorite.
It's not my favorite. He the baby boy, but he's not my favorite. I love all my kids.
See where we going? See where we going?
You assume I have favorites. I don't have favorite children.
Where we going? You do.
So give me an example. What would you call favorite? What would you call favorite?
I mean,
do he get a little more leeway than the other ones because he's a baby? Do we get a little more special treatment?
no, not necessarily.
Okay, well, to break it down to me.
Chocolate didn't even get it out. Look.
I mean,
come on. You almost there.
To do stuff, and I don't really say anything about it, but I don't see the harm. So, for example, we're
not talking about harm. We're talking about favors right now. See, you switch gears
on me. They all get to get away with stuff.
All the time.
What stuff though? See,
everything. I mean, with me, they get away with everything.
So let me drop.
Go ahead, help ourselves. Help us out.
A woman can raise a good citizen, but she cannot raise a man.
Well, that's why he's there.
Not if he know how to circumvent the system over you.
You can't go against what he doing though. You can't go against what he doing if he's trying to, help him grow into the man that he wants him to be.
Well, in the same token, if I discipline the daughter, because I'm harder on my daughter than I am on the boys. He's easier on the girls because they're girls than he is on the boys. But I'll say something like, don't do this. And be like, oh, wait, why are you being so mean to her? You don't do that to your boys.
See, okay, let me interject this real quick.
Y'all should not be doing that in front of the kids. See, they like, oh, they easy.
Here's the reality of it. Everything that y'all do in front of the kids, they're taking notes and they're turning that thing back around to use that against you guys in the most vulnerable times to get their way with you guys.
A week ago, right? I gave my son instructions. Well, actually, I gave the 3 middle, Jelani, Terrence, and Shaquan. I gave all 3 of them instructions. Make sure you do your chores before you go to sleep, because I don't want to have to give you an extra week of you doing your chores. So Jelani, he doesn't do the dishes on a Friday night. The other 2 brothers, they leave and they go to their dad's house. He stays. He didn't want to go. So I punish him. He gets mad. So last night, Dorian, she didn't wash her clothes like she was supposed to. So I punish her. Mom comes in. Well, why is she punished? Well, she didn't wash her clothes all week. I told her to wash her clothes. I gave her a whole week, almost 2 weeks to wash all of her clothes. She still didn't wash them. So I took her phone from her. Well, don't you think you should give it back to her? She's about to go to bed. She needs her phone so that way she can go to sleep. Well, why do I give her the phone? No.
Wait, hold up. He gave it back to her, but yet the boy is still punished.
No, she was done.
He shouldn't have gave it back to her.
But
She
he
was
did.
done washing all
See
her clothes
what
at
I
this
mean?
particular time.
Well,
okay.
I think you both are learning certain aspects how to make it balance. See, here's the thing. I'm not telling you you're wrong and you're wrong. You have to come to an agreement to where you guys are together all the time, and that there's a balance. You guys, here's the thing that's going to make your blended family soar. You guys got to be consistent.
I try.
See, if you're like this,
I try my
the
best
kids
to
are like this. They're confused. They don't know which mom to get or which Monty to get. If you're not consistent, whatever you're doing, whatever rules or whatever you're putting down, if you don't be consistent with it, they're going to be confused.
That's true.
Yeah, here's a lot of the disconnect in our household. I'm a workaholic.
Right.
So literally, I can be gone from sun up and I'll get back around 9, 10 o'clock at night. Literally all day. Which means Monty's home the majority of the time as far as a normal schedule.
Right.
So I'll say something and he'll run with it, like the chores thing. And he'll keep them to it. And in the course of the day, things come up, he'll deal with it.
Right.
And when I come home at night, I'm exhausted. So roles sometimes reverse a lot for that. And so I don't know what has gone on in the house all day.
Right, because you haven't been there.
Because I haven't been there.
Right.
And that's a consistent 6-7 days a week where I'm not there.
Okay. Let me say this to you. Don't lose your point. If you know this is a consistent pattern in your house, then you guys have to take a day where you're not ripping and running and draw up a strategy.
That's Sunday.
Sunday
Sunday's the only day.
And but y'all have to draw up a strategy for the week, because there's some things that's gonna get missed. Even if Monty is doing his very best, because if y'all together, and I can't tell you not to be a workaholic, I can tell you that you don't want your home to suffer because you're a workaholic, because that's the disadvantage of being a workaholic. It's a reason why you are, but then as a blended family, you got to look at your home. I think Monty is doing a phenomenal job. I think you're doing a great job. But the thing is that at the end of the day, you want your home to be healthy. And it takes both of y'all to be there to be healthy. Then y'all got to make some compromise. And y'all got to sit down and do some things that's going to make your home soar.
And I have a recommendation. So I retired before he did. So what he used to do on his way home, even when we both were working, on his way home, he would call me and he would let out everything from
the job. The craziness I was dealing with, crazy people.
From the job. Because we don't believe in bringing work.
Yeah,
home.
I didn't really want to do that at all.
Y'all can do the same thing. Like when she's on her way home, she can call you and then y'all can go over what happened throughout the day. You know what I'm saying? Like you can catch her up. So when she walks in the door, she's not bombarded with,
And then you're not exhausted.
And she doesn't know. You know what I mean? It's when you walk into something blind, you're blindsided. You know what I mean?
This one comes to me.
Yeah.
He's saying this. So yeah.
Right.
Exactly.
And so you have to be intentional.
If y'all talk before, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Number one, that's going to let them know, they together now. They on one accord. You know what I mean? Like they we can't
they
tell
know when
him
you
one
worn
thing
out.
and
That's
tell
when
her
they hit
one
you.
thing.
You worn out.
Or leave out details and all that, because she knows, and whatever.
I have this issue though.
Sure.
I'll sit there with them all day long and make sure that they get everything done, and we'll talk and we'll get everything together and we'll have everything going good.
Yes.
And she's not there. So when she comes home, like if I said this is for dinner, when she comes home, they'll pretend like they never ate. There's no food in the house. Mom, basically what they're doing is, can we order out? Now, she knows I've already cooked. She knows food in there. Food is right there on the stove.
And you succumb to that?
Yes
or no? It's a yes or no.
Go ahead, you can
Look,
have
she
it.
smiles.
You can have it. Dessert? No dessert.
Or they'll ask me if they can have something. I'll be like, yeah, sure, go ahead. And he be like, you know you're wrong because I just told you no. I didn't know you had just told them no.
Okay,
Type of thing.
So that's why
you go talk to him.
Y'all talk first. Before I answer you,
Let me go.
me and Monty gonna talk. That's what y'all do.
Well, this is where we go back to that. They 15. They know what I told them. Why? You should know. They should know.
You're right, Monty, on one hand, but you still got to remember you're still dealing with kids. There's statistics out there said that their brains really don't start being used until they're 25.
That sounds about right.
I look at it like it's using the streets. It's like you using me trying to get to her, so that way you can get everything that you can get out of her. But then at the end of the day, I still got to come back and hear this from her that you just took everything from her that she got. So now I got to rebuild everything that you took and give it back to her.
So then you strategize and let her have that conversation with you, because what it is that you're what you're saying is right, Monty. But what you're doing is that you're allowing Nysia to know exactly what you said to them, because that's another part of building your communication process. See, communication has to be built, even though we don't feel that it's necessary sometimes. Sometimes we just need to talk about it.
Sometimes she'll defend it though.
But listen,
she'll defend that. I'm like, you can't defend that.
No, and so, but you're learning. Listen, here's
But if he's running things at home, you can't just walk in and say
you can't walk in and blow it up
and undo whatever. Because
that's what you're doing.
Yeah, true.
You
walk in and blow it up. That's what you did. Everything that he laid out and put together,
and it's the stuff
because you trusted him.
It's the stuff that she told me to get done. All right, this is what
whoa.
everything's getting done. It's all done.
Nysia.
And then she'll come and be like,
We gotta have Nysia back on the show. Her and Monty. Because we not finishing this.
Wait, yes, so we might get a counseling session with these.
Yeah, we might have to bring them in. What you think?
I have said, look, I can't live like this. They need to do the bathroom, the vacuum, and the dishes. They need a schedule. He'll work out the details, divvy it all out.
And you come on and blow it up.
And then they don't do it. He'll punish him. And I'm like, but babe. Yes.
I'm confused.
But
you see how I got confused?
But here's what's happening. You're not preparing them for disappointment in that world. Because that world out there
will
is
disappoint
not
them.
friendly.
Thank you, Jesus.
And you know.
That world out there not friendly.
Listen,
so they're gonna have
they're not gonna love you.
They gonna
love your kids like y'all love your kids.
Exactly.
Y'all know that. Y'all been out there.
And they're gonna have to know they can't always get their way. If they learn that in home, when they get out there and don't get it, then they won't fall apart.
And then
what's my favorite word?
No.
And listen, no just means that. I tell people what no means sometimes. Not right now. This is not the time, because you're not mentally, or you're not spiritually, or you're not physically mature enough to handle it.
And don't reward bad behavior. You can't reward bad behavior.
And they're not gonna die. See, what you're teaching them on a balance sheet, they're not gonna die. See, the problem is that our kids, and not yours, but our kids have bought into this entitlement mentality, and they feel entitled.
Yes. And that's not just our kids. It's the whole
city
of Columbia.
Oh,
yeah.
They all of them.
Okay,
they all
so
entitled.
let's define entitled. Wait, let's define entitlement.
Entitled means that you feel that you're privileged.
Privileged to it. I know. I know
and
what it
that
means.
you don't like to say. You don't like the word no. That's what really entitlement means.
Wait, hold up.
Okay, go ahead.
You deserve
So
it.
we're going to talk about my craziness.
Okay, let's talk about your craziness for the next 5 minutes.
Okay,
Sure.
so entitlement to me, yes. It means that you feel as though somebody owes you something that they don't necessarily owe you. Nobody owes you anything. I agree with that. But on the same token, I think there's a cultural difference between what African Americans traditionally do and what Caucasians traditionally do.
I agree.
And because I grew up in the middle of both worlds, being from Colombia, then I'm able to see, okay, how the whites versus the blacks discipline and what they teach their kids.
Okay.
So driving in the car seat, in the back seat of the car on the way to a doctor's appointment, a black mother would be like, just sit there, don't ask questions. So when you go into the doctor tells you one thing, you just take it as is. Whereas a white mother per se may sit there and like, look, is there anything you want to ask the doctor? Is there anything? Because they're giving their child the rights to go and talk to an adult in a certain type of way.
But now, I didn't grow up like that.
Well, in his household,
as you ask questions, you know. Oh no, we're very boisterous.
But I know where you're coming
but
from.
in his household, it was like children are to be seen, not heard. Shut up, don't talk back.
No.
Whenever the kids ask you
that's
anything,
to another adult. That ain't got nothing to do with the doctor. If my grandmother says sit down and be quiet, you sit down and be quiet. You don't ask questions when you.
Well, and I grew up whereas if my mother says something to me or the teacher or something, I'm like, well, I don't understand why this is, and I got this dialogue. Whereas if the kids have that dialogue with me, then he'd be like, you're being disrespectful. No, it's not to me.
It's yelling.
Okay.
They're yelling.
So
now if it's yelling, they're yelling
appropriate and respectfully.
Well, I speak loud, so everything to him is yelling.
Okay. So
you see, he's very soft spoken. So
you like me sitting and talking with the kids, they'll talk. If she says no to one of them, they start yelling. So there's a difference in the tone of the voice is what lets me know, hey, all right, you gonna calm down. You talking to your mother now. To the point where one of my best friends was at the house a couple of weeks ago, and he had to calm down my 19-year-old because he was yelling at her. Mm-hmm. I ain't say anything. I was just waiting because I knew what she was about to do. And I told my buddy, I said, just move out the way. I'm just waiting.
She about to fix it. She about to fix it.
I said, just move. He gonna keep on going. As soon as he get a little bit closer where his arm's range, she gonna hit him right in the mouth. He was like, no, the next guy. I said, nope. He's been doing this for about a week now. He just trying
himself.
I said, just let him go ahead. So my buddy went back downstairs. He was drinking his beer. And he got a little bit closer. And you heard this. I'm cooking, so I already knew what was going on. I'm cooking.
Dropped to the floor.
He said, what? I said, I told you, you ain't had to worry about it. All you got to do is get a little closer.
So Nia and Monte, I appreciate Nysia. I appreciate your perspective on entitlement. But one of the things is that everybody's house is different.
Mm-hmm. Definitely.
And what you have to, you and Monte have to make a decision, an intentional decision, what you want your kids to be when they leave the house. Because when they leave the house, it's a representation of you guys, representation of the hard work that you put together to work to make them incredible, phenomenal athletes and students and whatever.
And it's okay to take some from your background, some from your background, because everybody grew up differently.
And mesh them, yes.
Yeah. And mesh them and even tweak them. You know what I mean?
Be willing to tweak.
Do what works for your home. Do what works for your home. But the kids should not be yelling at you, though. That
so
is
true, and hence he get knocked out.
It's
only the boys. Now, my daughter, she'll start to do it now because she see the boys do it.
Yeah, because they getting away with it, so that's why.
Well, they not getting away with it because I heard a thought.
They get to a certain level, and I think,
but it shouldn't even reach that level. Right. That's where he's coming from.
Why is it reaching that level? Though? Why do you think you use that strategy?
Because she just sit there and she tries to argue back. This is just my opinion. She argue back, and she'll sit there, and then they'll get out of line a little bit further than they should, and then they'll get close to her. She wants to get close enough, like I said.
It's over.
Yeah, I'm a fighter, but
I'm okay with your transparency.
Look, I'm honest.
No, everything that you're saying, I guess my question is that sometimes psychologically kids think they can get away with stuff. Mm-hmm. In their minds, mm-hmm. and it travels down to their mouths, mm-hmm. and you as a woman, and I don't know why, at some point in young men's lives, some of them, they think that they can overpower women because maybe they have weight and height.
They get
bigger
than me, mm-hmm.
and they feel this intimidation thing that will come out, but in reality, you have to honor your mother and father so your days may be long upon the land. Mm-hmm. And so when you have to go back and react the way you react, it's very important that you start drawing a line because you're the mature parent and you're the older parent. Because you always should have teaching moments. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Knocking them out or doing what you're doing is not a teaching moment. It may be an aggressive moment to settle the score. Mm-hmm. You're not into selling scores at where you are, Nysia. You're into teaching. And when you understand that I'm teaching, because they're going to be somebody else's husband someday. And what happens if they marry someone and they want to intimidate them and yelling? They're going to end up causing maybe abuse. So we got to be careful what seeds we're allowing to be planted.
It's also the seeds you come from.
Well, that's true.
Yeah. My household, he was raised by his grandma. I was raised by a single yelling mother.
Okay, I got you now. I got you.
A single yelling mother. So with 3 girls, because it was just me, my mother, and my sister for a long time, it was just all 3 of us together. It's just intolerable. I know this, and I'm part of it. And then it was my brother, poor brother. But you know, it's a simple way of how we're raised. So it's about more of expressing, and he's more focused on the volume.
Okay.
So we're getting points across. It's just the volume that and so the volume per se doesn't bother me because I'm loud anyway. Yes, I teach, so I'm talking over like loud music all day long. So the volume to me on a regular day coming in the house, hi, he was like, shh, why is it so loud?
Okay.
Just saying hi.
Well, we got to close.
Yeah.
Man, you guys have been phenomenal. Didn't want to cut you off, but we're going to get back together again. We want to have you guys back on the show because this is helping our audience. But we're going to pray as we wrap this up. Thank you, Monte.
Thank y'all for coming on.
Thank y'all so much.
We got to have your back.
We got to have your back because there's some more stuff got to come out. Let's pray. Father, we thank you so much for this incredible couple. We pray that you bless them and their children. Yes. Bless everything that they're doing, God. Yes, continue Lord. To use them for your glory. In the precious name of your son, Jesus. Amen. Listen, you guys said.
Well, it's that time to end the show, but we've had an absolute blast.
Please come back and check us out on next Wednesday from 1:30 to 2:30, to where we will share some more insights on how the blended family can rise. Thank you so much for tuning in. God bless you. Peace be upon you.